Yeah, like I don't know how to pour a can.
I'm half.
You got the same.
I'm about half of that.
And you recovering.
And
you got a hole. That's about to be another hole. That's like, and you still get, and see what I'm saying? You on top. Yeah, and you got some left to get you. Yeah,
I'm half of you though.
You ain't half.
I'm half of it.
Oh yeah, man. That was a quarter. I mean, he got double. That he got double. I ain't got double. I know. You got double. Man, this mother.
You got double me.
I ain't got double.
And that's cool.
No, I
got half of that. You know what I mean? This is 13%. And you know what? I just got this car. Like, I needed to. You know what I mean? I can't be.
So you should be thanking me, is what you said. Instead of bitching, you should have been good look. Good look on that double.
All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you fucking laughing at. We partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, singing, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, and all that.
All right, welcome to the 116th episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. Yes, this is our Joe Montana episode because we're the greatest, man. We're the greatest, and because we podcast out of Pittsburgh, we'll never give credit to Tom Brady. That's pretty much what it is.
Basically,
that's what it is.
Unless you listen to podcast 112, because then go fuck yourself, Ed Bailey.
Yeah, well, I had to. First of all, I called that podcast Room 112, but I also gave it to Tom Brady. Second of all, 116th, that's too many fucking syllables. Like, that's very hard to pronounce. Like, we might have to stop, Dave. Like, you know what I mean? 116th episode. I don't even sound cool saying that.
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah, because then we get into twos and the threes. And I think there's a sweet point where, like, you get to the hundreds and everybody's like, yeah, you made it. You're doing something. And then you get to like 300 and they're like, all right, man, this ain't special. How do you make shit special? The same thing when you turn 30, it's like, how do you make a birthday special?
You make it special because it ain't but one Joe Montana, all right? It was a Joe Namath, but he wasn't Montana. And that's what I'm saying. There are other drinking podcasts, but they ain't the drinking partners. You feel me? They just drink together.
You got that Montana. You got that Montana and Jerry. I mean,
Montana. That's what Joel Santana was, but he changes to Santana instead of Montana. It's Montana. Well, listen, if you're not familiar, my name is Ed Bailey. I'm half of your hosting tandem. I am joined, as always, with my co-host, Dave Bracey. He's already said what up, but he's going to say what up again.
Yeah, what up, people? If Ed is Joe, I am Jerry. And, we are the Drinking Partners. If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. And you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners. 116 episodes, man. We've been asking you. We're going to continue to ask you. Please hop on iTunes and rate and review. That's how we know what we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well. So please hop on iTunes, rate and review.
Hey, listen, people, you love us. You tell us you love us when you see us out in the streets. Now, just click on iTunes, rate and review, and tell the people on the internet. That's all. That's all we ask you to do. It could be quick, man. Just let the people know that, hey, these are cool guys to listen.
They ain't bad, I fucks with them. I have a drink with them, let them know,
And come have a drink with us, because in lieu of ratings and reviews, we do take shots of Henny.
We do take shots of Henny. And Ed takes shots of Henny again. I mean, it's been a while, man. It's been a while, but he's back to shots of Henny. If you seen, give him a I'm glad you made it.
Give me a baby shot. Don't give me a full shot of Henny yet. Full shot of Henny. I gotta call somebody to come air flight me to the nearest hospital. What is it? Life flight? They gotta life flight me, man. I can't do the Henny yet, but I will be. I'll be back all the way.
Word. If you're listening, man, and you're like, man, these guys sound smooth. They sound crisp. There's none of those like pops and crackles. It don't sound like they somewhere in a trap house like doing this shit. That's because Epicast Network, man, they keep us sounding great. If you're looking to get into podcast sounding better, or maybe you want to start a podcast of your own, or you need help promoting an event, maybe you just want to advertise on an award-winning podcast such as this one.
We have an award-winning podcast.
We have an award-winning podcast. One of our sisters, Marta on Moo, she has an award-winning podcast. So if you want to advertise an award-winning podcast, go to epicastnetwork.com/services, fill out the form, and tell them that the Drinking Partners sent you.
Yeah, come to Epicast and say, I'm with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm with them. I'm with DP, you feel me? I'm a distant cousin.
Get the fry hookup. Yeah. So upcoming events, we have April 29th at Contra Theater. If you know us, if you know about us, then you know what we do up there at Contra, man. It's one of the most beautiful theaters in Western Pennsylvania. We do a regular monthly show last Saturday of the month, every month at Contra Theater. April 29th, we are featuring Mike Wysocki.
He's headlining, man. And as always, you can feature whatever liquor you want because it's BYOB.
BYOB always, man. So bring your own booze. We'll have a sponsor coming through, slinging shots or glasses of booze that you can also drink. And on that, we've got John Dick Winter from Burning Bridges. We've got
you jumped in.
John Dick Winters, James J. Hamilton. This is the second episode. James J. Hamilton and Samantha Bentley, man.
Yeah, she actually won the competition at the Pittsburgh Improv, so she's a regular down there.
Yo,
now.
You know what? Like I met Samantha Bentley for the first time last week over at Apis. We did a show together, and it was a crowd work show. Right? It's
she's
called
great with the crowd.
Hurry Up and Say Something Funny. And she killed that shit, yo. Like, she had the best set of the night, hands down. And, I guess she goes, hey, nice to meet you. And I was like, she goes, hey, you're Day. And I was like, wait, do I know you like this? She goes, don't worry, it's nothing scandalous like that. But, I saw her set, man. I can't wait to see her on Contra.
Oh yeah, she's gonna kill that crowd. It's a loaded show, man. Not to take the name of the DBE show, but this show is locked and loaded, man. Like I'm excited about what we're doing down at Contra, man. We bringing like great comedy, bringing the liquor sponsors out. It's a great venue. It's got one of the coolest owners you could ever deal with.
Cecil
Let me tell you something.
Shout out to Cecil.
Cecil's a white dude with swag, and I'm not saying white dudes don't have swag, but he got like. He like, you know what I'm saying? He middle-aged type of gentleman, but he's got like a kind of street, but he's like upscale street swag. He's like couture street. Like,
yeah.
It's like, yeah, I got some True Religion jeans on, but I also got some pointy-toe shoes and a Hawaiian shirt.
Hawaiian under the blazer. Yeah, he's the type of dude, like, he knows the finer things, but he can still get down on the street level with you and talk. Yeah, there's those parallels. Every once in a while you get a parallel with a motherfucker, and you're like, maybe I could do this, So shout out to Cecil, shout out to Compton Theater. And if you're looking for tickets, it's at comptontheater.ticketleap.com, and come out and have a good time. Also, if you listen to episode 115, you've heard it, but if you're not, if this is the first time coming in, Ed Bailey, you have a headlining. You're headlining the Improv.
Yeah, man, May 17th. I'm trying to bring the city out, man. We're going to go down there and have a thank you, man.
That's huge, man.
It is, but it's not huge for me, man. It's huge for everybody because we bringing the city out to the Improv, and we're going to bring you a hell of a show, man. Much cheaper than if you go on a weekend and with the 2 drink minimums and all that. Nah, man, come out with me, have a good time. We'll save money in your pockets, but your belly's going to be hurting because you're laughing like a motherfucker, man. So I'm super excited to get out there, be able to showcase my talent and let some people that I truly respect showcase what they can do at the Improv. Because here's the thing, man. Us comedians, we got to take over that motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Like us local comedians, we got to take that shit over.
Look, man, like I've watched you from the beginning. We've done this whole thing.
Yeah, you had a whole street team with you. He had a street team at a open mic. He had merch. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude?
Watching. We got into the same time, watching the progression or whatever, and then seeing like people that are doing what you're doing now. Like it takes a while to get you. I saw you the very first time on stage. I was like, this motherfucker's the golden child. And watching your progression and just seeing how you just you have shot up and doing what you're doing and whatnot, and seeing the scene or whatever. For you to be where you're at right now, Like with it, like this right here, like just I'm a little, I get a little, this is the second podcast, I get a little drinking or whatever, I get emotional or whatever.
He giving me way too many compliments. I don't know what this episode gonna be now because they on some other shit.
But hearing that you got your weekend at your headline at the Improv, that's super dope. I can't wait to see that happen. I'm glad to even be a part of that. And if you're listening, man, if you're in the area or shit, if you're like, man, maybe I'll go to Pittsburgh one time, and you want to, plan a trip or whatever, come through. It'll be a dope ass
Come
show.
through. There'll be some promo codes and everything coming out fairly soon. So if you're a supporter of the podcast, we obviously take care of you. And like I say, man, I'm just trying to bring the city out, man. Just have a good fucking night, man.
That's all we do, man.
That's all we trying to do, man. So we can't do the BYOB because they ain't gonna be all that. But we'll bring the laughs for you.
Yeah. Nice.
So we doing big things, and we actually listen, man. I feel like with getting Improv, I'm taking my future into my own hands, and our guest is representative of that, man.
Yeah.
Like, we got a small business owner in here, but he's doing major things. You feel me? Like, I get excited about these episodes because they got the blueprint. You know what I mean? Yeah. They got the keys to what it takes to be independent, man. Like, it is, I'm doing my own thing. Like, I make my own fucking schedule. I show up when I want to, and I ain't gotta answer anybody, man. And you in a cool industry that's dealing with beer, like, what?
Yeah, I mean, like, the people ask, like, why you do it or whatever, and like with the guests or whatever. Like, this is more for me than it is for the guests. The guests like feel, but for me, I'm actually
I'm interviewing for myself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn something.
I'm trying to get keys.
I'm trying to learn something.
So this is always dope. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's very dope. And we're gonna have a very good podcast. We have Shane Lohman in the building from Steel City Beer. Say what up to the people.
What's up, everybody? I'll be like Dwight Clark, the white tight end in the back of the end zone, just catching touchdowns.
It was probably one of that was top 10. What up to the peoples?
That's up there, man. He came in with an analogy.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, yo, I'm a vet of this podcasting thing. People ask me questions all the time. Like, that's what's up. Dwight Clark, that's one of the careers that it's gonna be understated in the history of the league. Like, people gonna not appreciate it. But look, I was just catching touchdowns from Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? Yep. I wasn't really asked to do too much. Just get open, catch the ball, and I got a good contract for several
jerseys
years.
And he had a long career. It was good. That's very good analogy. Are you the Dwight Clark of the beer distributing industry?
You in the cut getting the money. That's what you're
Oh
doing.
man, I don't know Dwight Clark. It's like he's a good tight end, but you don't want to be that guy.
No. Yeah.
You want to be more Tom Brady or.
I don't know, man.
I don't want to be Tom Brady because fuck Tom Brady.
See, he was gonna say. Here's the thing, man. My dream job is 12th man in the NBA. Maybe 11th man.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? Like, I ain't gotta play in the game. I'm still getting them NBA
backup
checks.
quarterback.
Backup
quarterback. Like, there's some backup greats that made a great career. Charlie Batch. I love Charlie Batch. Yeah, I mean, his career, he was the most dependable, for me, he was the most dependable backup in the league. Anything that went down, you knew that you could give the ball to him, and, like, he's not going to fucking ball out and have, like, 18 touchdowns in the whole 9, but you're not worried. Yeah, I mean, and that's what a fucking backup quarterback should do. They come in.
If I'm playing for another motherfucking team, somebody else own the team, they making the real dollars, you just going to pay me to sit.
Yes. You know what I mean?
I'm just sitting. I'm an 11th man on the NBA roster because if you're the 12th man, you might not make the roster next year. If you're the 11th man, you probably get on the roster. You chilling. I get all the playoff pussy. Like, hey, look, the star player, he can't be fucking the night before the finals game. I can because I ain't getting in the game, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even got to go splurge on expensive meals. I can go hit Wendy's. Don't nobody know who I am.
Yeah. I mean, driving Montero. Blended.
Kawhi Leonard, he was driving like an 01 truck or something like that.
And if you're getting league minimum, you
getting at least six figures.
Yeah, I mean, just to, just once in a while you need me to exert that when, that's
six figures. Imagine, look, you get six figures and then you move in a little neighborhood where you ain't got to pay that much rent. Don't nobody know who the fuck you are. You know what I'm saying? Only people who lease an apartment to you know who you are. Everybody else just think you're a regular
Ain't nobody
dude.
trying to rob you.
Ain't nobody trying to come in your crib. You know what I mean?
Because when you Tom Brady, when you the number one motherfucker, right? You got to live that lifestyle. You
have to live
flashy.
up to the lifestyle. You got a brand to uphold and all that. You ain't got to do all that.
You got to overexert. You're spending too much. I mean, like you got to like move into the bigger neighborhood and kind of try to keep up with the Kardashians. And when you do do that, you're spending more. But if you're at 11th, man, like you said, the hood is a nice spot.
So now you are the front man at Steel City Beer though. So you don't live that 11th man lifestyle. You in the Tom Brady realm, huh?
Yeah, if you're the 11th man, you get kicked out of the club. Nobody even knows. But if you're
I'll
Tom
leave
Brady,
it. Fuck the club. I'm the motherfucker in here with the most money.
If you're the 11th man and you can get out of the club, you're doing too much. You don't know your status. You don't know what you're supposed to be. You're doing.
you gotta know your place.
Yeah, you got.
You in there acting like a local.
So, Steel City, man. Tell us about Steel City. How you got into what you're doing right now.
So I was in retail for about 5 years. I owned my own beer distributor, like a traditional walk-in, buy a case. And I just, after about 5 years, there was just so much good beer that wasn't in the market and that I wanted to see here. Stuff like Pizza Boy that should have been here, and just wanted to bring it in. I saw the opportunity, saw a niche, and like you guys said, always trying to do my own thing and build something. And we just literally, it was like an overnight decision. Like, let's do it.
So what were you doing before you were distributing beer? Because you're like, I just walked in, they didn't have what I had, so I just started a beer distributor. Like, that's not. I have been disappointed. I've been disappointed, and it didn't lead to beer distributor. Yeah, I mean, so how did you get in?
I graduated college in 2011, I think, and I was dating a girl that lived down the street from a guy that owned like a beer distributor out in Crafton. And I just kind of knew him, and right when I graduated, I got my real estate license and fucking hated it for like 2 months. I was like, I'm out of here, and just started a beer distributor. And so that's kind of its own separate business still. And then we kind of opened a wholesale business so that we can import different brands and do all that within the last year.
Well, that's the leap of faith. We always talk about the leap of faith, and there are varying degrees to it. I mean, you went all in. I mean, you were like, you know what, F this. I done sat through these real estate classes for, what is it? You got to take, 36 hours or some shit like that. Right? You got to take all these hours and take an exam. Like, fuck all that. I'm leaving that. I like this beer. I'm going to start this distributor. And obviously, there's some steps in between. I mean, there's some financing and things like that have to go into it. But the big thing is taking that leap of faith, identifying something that you like and being like, you know what, there's a market for this, man. Like, there's something about this that can be profitable.
Yeah, and then what about Pittsburgh made you think that it would be profitable?
Y'all drink too goddamn much.
Well, yeah.
Well, because there are a lot of people that aren't into the craft beer. They just want to drink their Budweisers or Coors Lights or whatever. I mean, and there are places where I don't believe that you would be able to do what you're doing in the craft beer niche around the country. I mean, there's some cities, some like areas that just would be like, nah, that's too much. So what about Pittsburgh made you think,
Well, first off, like when you say going all in, the thing I always tell people is if you don't put all your chips in the middle, you can't win big. So whether you're doing a podcast or whether you're doing a business or sports or whatever, you got to put it all in. And then if you fail, you learn and, kind of regroup. But in terms of Pittsburgh, it kind of goes, there's like a great food scene here, a great cultural scene. It's kind of the same vein. People that just appreciate good food products. And that's kind of what upscale craft beer is, good craft beer. It's almost like a food product. And
food. That's every time we have a brewer on or whatever, you find like there are two types of brewers that I've like kind of come into contact. They're either like kind of chefs and more palate based, or they're engineers. Now, granted, you are going to need the same engineer type skills or whatever, but the backgrounds are usually like, I was an engineer of some sort, and then I figured out how to the chemistry type thing. I mean, a chemist that can come in and, work the chemicals, or those folks that just have that palate. And beer, like you said, is, like the flavors and the taste, and that's what makes an appreciation of beer.
Yeah, and I think it's underrated. Like, people from outside Pittsburgh don't really realize there's that scene here, whether it's food or beer or whatever. And a lot of times we go visit breweries to try and bring them in, and they think Pittsburgh's kind of like one of those old rundown Rust Belt cities still that doesn't have it. But whether it's like culture, comedy, beer, food, it's a great scene for it, and I think it's still growing.
So you're from Cali?
Yeah, from LA.
All right. When did you come to Pittsburgh? 2007
to go to the school at Duquesne.
To Duquesne.
You went to Duquesne. A lot of Jones down at Duquesne. Nah, not a lot of Jones. I'm getting myself caught up. None of them bodies is confirmed. So let me just say that. I bangs with Duquesne, though. What brought you to Duquesne from L.A., man? Like, how do you choose to be in Pittsburgh when you're out in L.A.? Because it's generally the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? My family's from out here, a portion of it. My dad, we always came back to visit with him. Okay. It's a great city. Once you get past the snow and the cold weather, but it's a great
I
city.
still haven't gotten past that. I'm not born
It
here.
ain't just the snow, the cold weather. It's because the snow, the cold weather, and the hills, man. Like, I'm from Cleveland. It's bad snow and cold weather in Cleveland, but your shit's flat, man. You can get from A to B. But here, the one year I was
Y'all
living
got like
on
a thick wind, man. Y'all got that shit. I guess it depends on what part of Cleveland you in, because I guess maybe if you're in southern,
Bruh,
south.
I was out here. It got so bad. We were literally trapped in the hill. Like in the hill, it was trapped. Like people like couldn't go to work. You were literally trapped in the hill district. Buses wasn't coming. Cars were sliding down the hill and crashing. Like I was calling off. Like, hey man, I ain't gonna make it today. What's wrong, Ed? You sick? No, my shit ain't gonna make it down that hill.
You definitely want to have good tires before check your tires around October.
Yeah, I started with a 2-door out here, and that didn't last long.
Yeah, you had a Cali car. And it was like,
don't have rear wheel drive out this bitch.
Rear,
it's curtains.
Rear wheel drive with 2-door. I got pushed up the hill by console a couple times.
Yeah, he came out with the Cali car, like the Jeep, that the doors is off and the roof is gone and shit, thinking he was in a music video or he was about to go to the beach like he was in Can't Hardly Wait, the movie or something.
He came in with it had to be like a Mustang convertible out this bitch. Like, what did you have when you came through?
It was a 1 Series BMW, and it was not. It was cool in the
Time
summertime.
the fuck out. He had a BM.
No. That 1 Series is rear wheel, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
because like the 1 Series, it's not like the 4-wheel. If you got 4-wheel, you can kind of make it. You're good. That rear wheel, even front wheel, is cool. Rear wheel, no,
and it's a
especially
light
not
car.
exactly.
Too.
It's a 1 Series, so it's light and it's back. Like you spinning and your back tires.
If it got real bad, I would throw. Swear to God, I would throw kegs in the trunk to try and hold it down on the way home.
That's cool. That's what I should be telling. Yo, drug dealers, listen. If a cop pull you over, you got weight in the truck, tell him you just trying to make it home.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's snowing outside. I needed all this weight so I could keep my car, you know what I'm saying, weighted down. I ain't selling this shit.
Just trying to get home.
I'm just trying to get home.
So you came through Duquesne, whatever. What did you major in?
Communications. I worked with the basketball program there. I was a student manager back when they were kind of good. Now they're not, but
yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And then you graduated and you were like, fuck this beer I'm drinking right now, my options.
Well, so for the first 5 years, we just had a normal beer distributor. We didn't import or anything. We just like the corner beer distributor it's up in Wexford that you go to. And then kind of having that for 4 or 5 years, I decided I wanted to bring in other brands. I kind of branched off and started a wholesale importer.
So when did your palate get more sophisticated? I mean, because generally when you're
some would argue that it hasn't yet. Like Andy from Hitchhiker, he thinks it hasn't.
Well, he brewing and all that.
Andy's an asshole.
He's tasting beer
asshole,
throughout the entire process. Like, ain't nobody palate like his unless you brewing. I mean, he's tasting it all throughout. But, I mean, for you to be a young guy and get into craft, I mean, generally younger people, look, you're binge drinking or you're just drinking what's readily available.
Exactly. With the frat guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, like, with craft, I mean, you really have to have a taste for certain things. You got to be into, the whole community to really be into craft because, like, you don't just have one craft beer that you like. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't talking about it like, yo, I just like one craft beer.
It takes a while to get into craft beer.
Yeah.
It's like when you first drink beer and it kind of tastes horrible when you're like, younger. It's kind of the same process. Like you got to go through it again. Mm. My parents were in the food business. So, I mean, I grew up on Budweiser and crappy beer, but probably the end of college, I would think. Right when it started to get big.
Well, like you said, like food, it's the same thing with food. Some people don't like, they're not adventurous when they eat.
Right.
And they just have the thing that they grew up on, and that's what they eat, and they don't, venture out or whatever. I think it takes a certain. I think some people, like, because I grew up like Southern, it was all just barbecue, fried chicken, this and whatever. So like I'll eat anything Southern, but like when I got into college, it wasn't until college I started to like expand my palate to various things, right? And some people don't do that, and so. Yeah, so like,
wait, is there good fried chicken in Pittsburgh? Because I love fried chicken, and I've never never found it.
Carmi's,
on the north side.
On the north side has some good fried chicken.
Okay,
it's tough. I live in, and that's what's crazy being a black dude in Western Pennsylvania is that like there's no good like fried chicken is a task.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's like I
have fried chicken. Cause like my lady, people are becoming more health conscious. So like, my woman, you know what I mean? She doesn't fry chicken. You know what I mean? We
It's
bake
a messy
chicken.
process.
It can be. It can.
Dude,
be.
I tried it one time in my apartment, senior year of college, and burned the whole apartment down.
Damn, you was like
and
Martin Lawrence from Boomerang.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I mean, fried chicken, it's a task. Like, you definitely going to be cleaning grease off the counter and off the stove. But when you bite into fried chicken, it's just different, man.
It's a whole...
Baked chicken is like, it's good, you know what I mean?
That's why they call it soul food.
But you bite into fried chicken, you
with
get
some
that
good mashed
crunch.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Get that crunch with that warm center with the... man, don't get me started. I'm about to go fry some chicken
That's what you know how often... Like, listen, I will eat fried chicken every day. Like, I mean, that's the thing
there's no meal that fried chicken is not good at.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's not... I would eat fried chicken every day. I don't, because I know that I would die much sooner than I'm already gonna die. And because I don't cook it at home, like I had, cooking it when I was a kid. I mean, my mom, she had the big pot or whatever, and like cleaning off the stove. I was a kid; that was my job. So my mom didn't care about fried chicken because she knew that she had 2 kids to clean up the mess afterwards. Like as an adult. And I'm like, I don't really want to clean the splatters. So I got lazy, and then life just isn't conducive to making it at home or whatever, And like you said, like fried chicken. The thing about Pittsburgh, it's just become a foodie town. But even then, as a foodie town, the ethnic foods are still like a good jerk chicken. Shout out to Leon's. You know what I mean? Like, a good Caribbean food and like Mexican and like the whole night, like the East Coast on that whole vein, is still a little tough. And like I do. This is my rant. I wake up on a Sunday morning and I'm hungry for fried chicken, and it's just not available, man. Where do you get your fried chicken?
I don't. That's why I'm asking. I didn't know.
So I'm glad I'm not the only one.
At Smallman Galley, I forget, one of the places for brunch on Sundays, they do a whole fried chicken with some waffles. And it was pretty good.
Waffles, man. That's Carmi's.
That's
Go to
the only
Carmi's
place.
and get
I'll have to
chicken
check it
and
out.
waffles.
Yeah.
Get you some good fried. That's what I'm saying. Fried chicken, any meal. You can get chicken and waffles for breakfast. You can eat chicken and whatever for lunch. And you definitely can eat fried chicken for dinner.
Yeah. I'll snack on that shit. And then it's cold. Good cold. Fried chicken cold. Like good fried chicken cold. I ain't mad at that.
Let me tell you something. My grandmother, we used to catch a Greyhound in Georgia. And she would pack. She would have a fried chicken and aluminum foil. You just have fried chicken and bread on the way down there. Fried chicken be cold.
Fried chicken and
and you be crushing that cold fried chicken with the bread.
That fried chicken cold, because it pulls a little better. You know what I mean? Like you can get the strip. Like, I did not think I was going to be talking about fried chicken.
Make me hungry.
On this, on
chicken
this
and
podcast.
Beer. Ludacris had an album.
Chicken and beer.
Fried chicken and beer.
Fucking 116 episodes, 116 episodes. This is the first time we had a chicken and beer conversation, and I did not think it was going to come from Shane Lohman.
He said he loved fried chicken. So
yeah, that's dope. Tell us about what we're drinking on right now.
So this is the On Fleek from Stillwater, 13%,
On Flink,
12-ounce can.
fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's really good. You don't taste the 13%,
Not
which
at
is
all.
kind of dangerous. Real smooth.
Yeah, I was like, oh, let me pour it. You were like 13. I was like, all right, let me sip on this, and it just went. It's gone.
he wasn't like, let me sip on this.
It's
He
gone.
was pouring that whole fucking thing in his glass till we told him,
Yeah,
hey,
he got
man.
the most of it.
Yeah, we was like, hey, man, there's 2 other fuckers that want that too.
If you're listening at home, Shane's lying his ass off. Right?
Not at all.
I don't even know if you could believe anything that he's saying.
I don't think Buzzy got any.
No, Buzzy took the can.
Now he's creating comic books.
There's no such thing as Buzzy didn't get any beer.
Shane Lohman is a writer, clearly.
Buzzy takes pictures for beer with us. Like he's like, all right, look, I'm gonna take all your photos, but I need all the beer. Like I need parts on everything.
What brought this in? What was your introduction to this brewery and this beer?
So they come through an import portfolio with Evil Twin, Off Color, Against the Grain. It's not quite as well known as like Evil Twin's probably the main one in that group that people know. But Stillwater's slowly getting out there more and more. It's starting to get into cans, which helps a lot. Cans seem to be like the popular package right now.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, my thing is just getting people to try it because once you try it, it's so good.
So now you said import portfolio. How does that work? Like, how do you decide on what beers you have? Do people send you like suggestions, or are you out just like, I like this, so let me have it in my?
I mean, it's kind of a mixture. I always tell people if there's something that's not here that you want to see here, hit us up on social media because we're always looking for good beer. As long as it's really good liquid, even if it's not as well known, we're willing to bring it in. And our big thing is, once you try it, it's good, and you'll keep drinking it.
So do you try all of your beers?
That we currently have, or that we bring?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, like when you bring them in, like do you have a
Oh,
judge
yeah, we gotta
that'll bring
try
in?
it.
Like, I mean, like have you had some beers and been like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
Can't put this
definitely.
out.
So there's like some integrity like to the situation. Like if you come in, you're like I can put my like seal of approval on everything.
Right.
That's
Yeah, I wouldn't bring anything in if I didn't try it, but we'll go around. Usually I'll get like a case or two of samples brought in before we sign a contract and give it around to bartenders, friends, just people that, get their opinion of it.
Oh, y'all cracking another beer. That's what's up. So, I mean, you when you started, was there like a specific grouping of beers that you just started with? Like, hey, these are my favorites, or did you just begin like, hey, let's get out and ask people, what they want? Because I think that model, I think that's more of a newer thing as far as with distributors, where people are like, I think people appreciate that about Steel City, where, hey, I have input on what they carry. Like this, you know what I mean? Everybody can feel like, hey, this place carries what I like. And it's a true statement, because you guys are taking suggestions from individuals.
Yeah, so I mean, the first one, we got knee deep out of Northern California, which I'd kind of known from being out there. It was really good hoppy beer, but to a certain extent, we were lucky to get a really good one with our first one. But it's like before you've been with a chick, like you're just trying to knock out the first one.
Yeah.
Like you're not being super picky, but we got lucky. But yeah, I mean, that's something that we're trying to do a lot of is make it a community thing, because craft beer is a community thing. That's, so, and that's, we're trying to put a face on it, not necessarily my face, because my face shouldn't be on anything, but our company, as a whole, we want to put a face on it so that people feel like, I have people come up to me at the bar or when I'm at a Dancing Gnome or wherever all the time. And I like that, because it's, people feel like they can come up to me, what's coming out, what breweries you're getting in, I want to see this here. And it should be, because a lot of people, you ask them where the beer comes from, they don't know what a wholesaler is. They don't know where, who does it. So just trying to put a face on it and make it a community thing. We're very active on social media.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Like the business model of this distributor, it's very millennial conducive. Like it's like, and with it being a community, like craft beer being a community of individuals, I feel like people are probably very responsive to an individual who services their desires. It's not just a business that's a structure that has beer. It's representative of the people. You know what I mean? And it's not just that you're bringing beers from as imports, but it's like, these are imports that we like. These are the imports that, hey, if I go on the website, or if I go and look at the reviews, these are suggested and liked by a bunch of people. Like, let me go in here and take a look at that and try that. Like, that's more people should get into shit like that.
Do you ever just like come across brews and you're like, this is fucking dope, I need this? And you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and it's not there's a lot that goes into it for a brewery to come here. They got to have enough production. It's got to fit their plan. So I mean, we've reached out to a ton of breweries that may come here in the future, or just may not come here. But they aren't here yet. So I drink stuff all the time. Sometimes I'll have people send me stuff from other places just to try it. But yeah, I mean, we're always open.
Nice. How do you believe, like, how are the new laws?
Oh, it's great
business?
for us.
It's
great for us, just because, you go in and buy one at a beer distributor. I mean, that's huge for us.
Yeah.
It's just craft beer is more of at the most, a 4 or 6 pack thing. A lot of times you don't want to go in, and if, I don't know, this is an $8 can to buy a case, it's $120. Nobody's going to buy that.
And that's, and from the consumer side, I fucking love the fact that I can come in, like, when they busted down the 12 packs at distributors or whatever, it was dope, because like I can get 2, and I might pay a couple dollars more or whatever, but I would rather, like, if I'm going to take a chance on something, like I'm going to take a chance on a 12 pack before I take a chance on a case. You know what I mean? Like if it was a case, it was like, I'm not about to invest 24 beers into this.
And even if it's your favorite beer of all time, how often do you want a whole case of something?
Yeah, exactly. And if for parties, it's much better because you have more of a variety. Right. Again, if I have an event coming up, I'll pay a couple dollars more. And like the price isn't crazy, you know what I mean? Like the difference isn't much. It's just a couple dollars or whatever, and you have more variety, and then you get to try more things. You know what I mean? Like, and you expand your palate as a result of that.
Yeah, 100%. The laws have been great for us. I mean, it kind of worked out well with timing. We were pretty new in it, but it's been great. And I think it was silly and old just to have a case. I mean,
Yeah, I don't even know shit. So I'm fairly new to the craft thing. I don't even know if I bought just a case of beer. outside of taking it to someone's crib for a party. Like, I don't know if I
Yeah,
just
you get a
had-
case of Bud or Bud Light, but not.
I missed that stage. Like I totally skipped over the Bud Light phase. Like the thing about beer for me, and this is crazy, beer was the thing for me that I would drink on a night where I was out drinking, but I didn't want to drink. Like if I was like going out with a friend, but I was like, I gotta go out, but I ain't really trying to drink, then I'd have a beer.
What do you drink at home? Or
Well,
what
that's
did you-
because the beer that was available usually was like Budweiser,
Yeah, but
4 or 5%. It wasn't too,
Right. So you could not drink at all, but you do feel weird being in like a party, like a club or something like that, and you don't have nothing in your hand. Like
Yeah.
you feel like that drink in your hand kind of make you a little more smooth with the ladies, man.
Yo, pre-gaming, that's all pre-gaming is. You pre-game, you get fucked up, and then you just go to the bar, you buy one drink,
Just
and
hold
you
it.
hold it.
Just hold it.
And you sip slowly. That's like, because like you said, I mean, it feels weird being the dude with like, where do you, I don't even know where to put my hand. Like,
Then you're just stalking if you have no.
like what you do with your hands, like
Yeah,
you
what
just
do you do with
standing
the
around, like
Staring
you
at
can't be talking
chicks.
to a chick and both your hands is moving. Like you gotta have that drink up near your left lobe, leaning in. You know what I mean? After you finish your phrase, take a sip. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's the game. That's what you do.
Yeah,
like
but you can't be standing in the corner with no drink, just staring at chick.
yeah, you look
Nah.
like you ain't supposed to be there, or
Yeah.
you a cop.
Yeah,
Right.
and you gotta have an exit. The drink is a great exit, or like you said, it's either to keep the conversation going. It's like, you know what? I don't know what I'm about to say right now. Let me take a sip, think about it, come back in. Yeah, I mean, or this is kind of getting a little boring. Let me take a sip and pull out. Like, yeah, I mean, go this way. Like it's a
Exit
it's,
strategy. Were you a straw man,
tool.
Shane? Did you drink out the straw? Were
No,
you straight
not at
to
all.
okay?
Yeah.
For a minute, I was a straw dude. I
You
used
drank
to
beer
do-
out of a straw?
Straw?
Not
Or with
beer.
Oh.
Not
Oh.
beer, just drink. We talk about drinks in the club. You
Oh,
know, they give you the
cocktail,
little
yeah.
plastic shit with the little bitty straws.
yeah.
the little
They
tight
give you
straw.
two of them.
Yeah.
Why not just give me one?
Give me
They
one
want-
regular
Yeah.
straw.
Why
Like
did-
I'm sucking this straw hard as shit. Veins showing in my neck. I got a headache now.
Don't let it be like orange juice with a little pulp or some lemon or some shit get caught up in that. Like, yeah, I mean, like, why like you a little bit bullshit?
I finally realized, like, hey, man, why am I thinking about this shit being sanitary? Because that's why you drink out this straw. Like, oh, it's not sanitary to drink out of this little cup from the bar. But it's like, you know what? The alcohol will kill it.
Yeah,
Whatever's on it.
Here's the
alcohol
thing about it.
will
Here's the thing about a glass. When people are like, I don't like to put my lips on glass. So you mean to tell me that you believe the inside of this fucking glass is perfectly clean, but there's some sort of barrier between the very inside of the glass and the outside of the
Now,
glass?
people was
That is
concerned that the
different?
last person who had the glass was eating ass. I got the ass eater's
I
glass.
feel like with the backwash, ass-eating germs are going to get in the inside of the glass too. I
That's
mean, if
true.
you're going to put it in, they all go through the same dishwasher. You know what I mean? You think the dishwasher does a better job on the inside than the outside? Like,
How come
no.
more women don't try to sneak their own glass in a purse? I've never seen a woman try to provide the bartender with their own glass. Like, here, use this.
Is it approved?
Yo, somebody go listen to this, and that's what they gonna do. I'm gonna spark the person who's
BYOC?
does that. Yeah,
B-
and that's good for the
BYOG?
bartenders. They gotta wash less glasses.
Yeah, you're putting busboys out of jobs over here.
Nah, he could. You know what I mean? Not everybody gonna walk in with a glass, but you know, some sedity woman gonna come in with her own glass.
That might be like $1 billion industry, man, where you have like a collapsible glass. Because you're looking at, I mean, a glass is spacious. I mean, it takes up room. But if you had like a pop-up
gonna be
glass
in
that you
your
could
hand.
just unfold and then you just be like, here it is, and then take it back.
I brought my own.
Fold it back into your purse and leave, wash it out, and then rinse and reuse.
There you go.
There it is.
You might now. Y'all should sell them.
Yeah, maybe.
Steel City, you heard it here first.
I gotta
Drinking
come here more
Partners-
often. We're just inventing businesses out
Drinking
here.
Partners,
that's all
Steel
we do.
City Beer.
I'll cut you guys in.
Collapsible glasses.
Just put our likeness on the display. Yeah, I mean,
can do
you
that.
get the buddy or whatever. Just put our likeness on the display. That's what we do, man. I definitely, if I'm at a bar and I see a chick come out with a collapsible glass, that's wifey material.
Yeah, you
man.
respect that.
She's cost efficient and she's clean.
She cares.
She cares, man.
Yeah.
I'm wifing that. I'm definitely getting that. Number.
She's forethoughtful.
Exactly.
Yeah. You
Definitely need you a woman that thinks about shit, like thinks things through. Because men, we don't think the night through. We don't think everything through. We don't foreshadow. That's not what a man does. We react. We're not proactive. We're reactive.
You'd be at the bar and be like, "Oh, you just be drinking out of anybody's glass, huh?"
Like,
Hold up, pulled out the collapsible glass. Like, yeah, I mean,
so wait, we got another. This is our second episode. So Shane's sitting here. He ain't been on the whole episode.
Yeah.
So you'll catch up to us soon.
That's
So
fine.
what do you have with us? What's this we're drinking on
This
now?
is a
This is
blood
sour
orange
dip.
goes, from Evil Twin.
Evil Twin. I just got acclimated with Evil Twin. They have the was it Bigger Than Jesus or More Than
Even
Jesus?
More Jesus, yeah.
Even more Jesus. Oh my god.
I mean, they do everything good, but their stouts, Even More Jesus, Imperial
Their
Biscotti
stouts
Break.
really are like.
Yeah.
I mean, they are something to behold. The flavor, like stouts, they sometimes like a little bit too heavy on the bitter side of things or whatever. They even it out well, but it's not too sweet because sometimes like
Yeah.
it's a.
They just got named one of the top 10 breweries in the world by
Really?
Rate Beer.
Really?
So, yeah, big stuff.
And where's Evil Twin? Where are they?
So they're out of Brooklyn,
Okay.
but they're a gypsy brewery. They're just building their own brewery, but they go around and they brew at different breweries.
Okay.
Oh wow. Shit.
Yeah, so they're all over the East Coast.
So that is a new phrase for me. Gypsy brewery.
Gypsy
Gypsy brewery. I
Yeah.
didn't know that was even a thing that
Yeah, I
you
think
just
it's a newer thing, yeah.
we don't do. We just go it. Like, do you got a little space? Like, do they just go into a brewery? Like, you got a little room for us?
No,
Or they going with the top 10 ranking?
they just
like,
go
hey,
in
let us do this.
and brew and leave, really, and package. They don't really post up there
So
that
they
hard.
on one night stand.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but like, I mean,
That's what's
but
up.
like, we're like, I mean, how does are there pop up breweries that do like?
Oh no, they go to set breweries. Like
Yeah,
they'll go
so
to
they-
Westbrook Brewing or Two Roads Brewing and use their facilities. Like they just went to Seoul, which is another brewery.
But doesn't that fuck up their like that facility's brewing pattern? Like, how do you be like, listen, like, I know what y'all got going on over here. I mean, like, how do you book a weekend at a brewery? Like, look, I'm coming through
And then
in
what is
May.
the advantage of that brewery
Yeah.
allowing you to do it? Like, do they do collaborations when they do that?
A lot of times, yeah. But I mean, I think for the brewery themselves that's doing the gypsy brewing, obviously it helps you with startup costs because you don't have to build a
Yeah.
brewery.
But what does the brewery get that
Yeah,
they
right,
come
right.
in? Like what's their
I
advantage?
mean, they
Like,
charge them, so there's
Okay,
there's
so
some
there's
kind
a-
of commission or rate
Okay,
or something.
yeah. So it's
That's
just-
because that's like somebody. I'm top 10 in the world. I'm gonna come in and brew better beer than you.
Yeah, like,
And leave
In your own house.
in your crib, like in your
that's
spot.
like that's some cuckold shit.
That's
yeah,
what we
I mean,
keep
like,
doing with these guests. We keep bringing more knowledgeable guests on this cast. They fucking aren't, you know what I mean? Coming in, dropping knowledge and all that. He done dropped a new term, gypsy brewery.
Yeah.
Like, we 116 episodes in. We've just now hearing this
Just
term.
hearing this was even a thing.
And then
yeah.
he's gone after this episode. Like, he just evil towned us. He just evil towned us.
That's this,
Well, evil twinned us. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm
this
fucking it up.
this is actually a very good sour.
It's good for summer with the warm weather coming up.
Mm.
It's super drinkable. I think it's only 3.5% or something like that. So
It's right up my alley right now.
Yeah.
I need them soft drinks, but it's very flavorful too. That flavor jumps out at you something crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean they did this really well.
the sours are something that it's an acquired taste, kind of like the IPAs. You got to get it's a little shocking at first, but you got to kind of ease yourself into it.
Well, I think they're easier in the sense of IPAs, just because like as kids we would try to shock ourselves with sourness or whatever. We had the
Right.
atomic warheads or whatever, but like bitter is a completely different taste. Like a bitter is like masochistic in a sense.
Just
you know
eating
what
a
I mean?
tree.
Yeah, like motherfuckers that eat vegetables are like, it's weird. I'm like, well, you just gonna eat this
Motherfuckers
Like,
who eat vegetables. That
you
is
just
weird.
you gonna eat this shit?
That's a man that's not gonna live long. yo.
But no, sour. But yeah, you're right. Like, I think that when you are coming into it, it punches you in like you get your
Back of the throat,
like
yeah.
and like biting into a lemon type thing. It still is in that same vein though.
This one's not too bad though. It's pretty drinkable. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
No, it is drinkable, but it's flavorful as shit. Is
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah,
saying.
and for a beer that has 3.5% alcohol, 4%, I mean you're getting a ton of flavor out of it.
like you said, it's very good summer. It's like juicy. Like
Yep.
I don't feel like I'm drinking a beer right now. Like I can appreciate, but it's very juicy. Like an apple, like a green apple almost.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. That's dangerous.
How long till you can drink again? Like really drink?
Well, technically, I can now. I just got to get over my own mental hurdles.
Okay.
I like I'm doing the cast now, so obviously I'm having beers, but hard liquor, I just, you know what I mean? Like hard liquor, I haven't gotten into that yet. It is raining like a motherfucker outside. That's Pittsburgh for you, boy. you wake up feeling
Sunny.
like, oh, this is a good day, yeah. Then you do a podcast and look outside, and it's like, God damn, I ain't never going out, so I'm just gonna be stuck in here with all these beers. It's a good life, man.
There's
like,
worse places to be.
Yeah, definitely. Like, your life is cool. Like, I envy your life. You're an entrepreneur. You're around beer all the time, but not just around beer, but you're around like beers that you enjoy, and you're able to import products that you enjoy that aren't available here. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's a great time. I enjoy what I'm doing every day. I think entrepreneurs in general, it's kind of a, hip thing, thing, but it's just like with what you're doing with comedy. I mean, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, a lot of work, a lot of long nights, a lot of long days that people don't see. They kind of just see the finished product, but no, we're having a blast. I mean, our whole team.
now, have you noticed? So the craft beer, the scene, do you think it's getting younger? Because I think there's a trend in America in general where young individuals are taking everything into their own hands. It's like everything you do, you have the choice of tailoring it to yourself. There was a time in life where, let's say with fast food, you go with fast food, that's the menu. Now you can kind of manipulate the sandwiches. You can go out there, restaurants where you can manipulate how things are prepared. And now even with the beer distributors, you can kind of tailor what they carry to what you like by, making suggestions or reaching out to them. So craft beer, from my understanding, it was more of a mature thing. What I mean? Like it was people, it was more expensive. People had more seasoned palates, but it almost seems like younger individuals are getting into it. You being a younger guy, have you noticed that? Or
Yeah, and again, I think it's kind of the same thing with what's happened with food is people in general, but especially millennials and younger people, they want to know where their food's coming from, what they're putting into their body. They're willing to pay a little bit extra for a real quality product that they can enjoy. And I think craft beer's kind of been the same thing. Back in the day, people were just going to McDonald's and, they didn't ask where it came from. They were just eating it. Not that people don't go now.
Now motherfuckers put videos out of the chicken nugget process and shit. You're like, oh, no, I can't eat that. But people still eat that shit somehow.
Yeah, but it's I mean, if you go in a big can of Bud Light's $2 and a pounder of a good IPA is $4, I mean, it's really not that crazy.
Well, especially when you think like, I mean, for me, I love the heavier ales or whatever, like, and craft. I mean, we have this story. We were just talking about it on was a 112. We were talking about the how the industry went like heavy, and now like there's more. There starts to be a swing and emphasis on the sessions and giving more flavor to sessions, like the lower ABV or whatever.
Which I think is an effort to try and bring more people in that aren't as into craft. It's not too. You go in and drink a 9% double IPA. If that's the first IPA I've ever had, it kind of, punches you in the face.
Yeah, and then the feeling that you had, because like people don't, when the onboarding process, like even if you have a lighter, like tasting type of ale, especially like a Belgian, where Belgian like isn't as like bitter and hoppy, or whatever.
Yep.
So it's more easily drinkable.
Yep.
But the feeling, like, because it's still easily drinkable, but it still has that 9%, 10% sometimes, like, ABV, the feeling afterwards is like, holy fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I think there is very much a need for a lighter, like a 4.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just want to sit and have like 6, 7 beers and not be tanked.
Yeah.
Watching a game or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, with the sessions. Where are we going to go next with this?
Wherever you want. We got the Knee Deep Stoutella, which is good. It's a stout, but it's not too heavy. It's pretty light. And then that Evil Twin Maltov Light, a little bit heavier. It's like 8.5% double IPA. Real good, but so either way you want to go.
It's
your podcast.
This is your beer. That is how
you can go with the Knee Deep first.
Yeah, the beer guy makes the decisions. I've learned that.
Yeah.
Dude who brought the beer makes all this. That's why you gotta listen,
tell
man,
other people that.
Bring beer to your friends' cribs. You have a little bit of jurisdiction over their crib. Like,
That's a good point.
If you brought the beer to the situation, or you brought the drink to the situation, they can't tell you shit like, but y'all drinking my shit.
The downside is, though, being in the beer business, like everybody expects you to bring beer every time, and they expect you to bring good beer and a lot of it.
I kind of, I don't know. I've kind of gotten to the thing where like people, when I come in, people expect it to be a little bit of a, well, what do you got?
Right.
Like, I can't walk in with some bullshit or even, empty handed, like, I just showed up. Like, nah, bro.
Man, I just looked in Buzzy's fridge and there's like 9 Yinglings, some old stuff in the back. I was disappointed.
I'm always
Oh,
disappointed. When I'm
no,
walking.
that ain't Buzzy stuff. That's somebody else.
Yeah, that's somebody else.
This is a whole workspace
Yeah.
for a bunch of individuals.
This is a multi-task.
Buzzy ain't drinking no Yinglings.
No.
It's easy to blame him.
Yeah,
though.
no, yeah. And it took me a while because when I kept coming there, I was like, why you got this bullshit? He was like, listen, bro. This ain't me.
He's hiding the good stuff. He didn't want us cracking into that.
That's true. I wonder if that's what weed dealers are like. Their life is like they go to a spot and everybody wants like some high grade weed. Like if you bring some bullshit, yo, fuck you, man.
I think with a weed dealer, they just want you to bring weed. They don't give a fuck because it's free. I mean,
You could just buy regular weed off anybody. But if I got a homeboy who's selling weed, like they bring me your top shit, man. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, well, if we're friends, I want to like, but just in general, like being a, but anyway, as a weed dude,
I don't know if he indicting himself or not, but Dave Bracey is not a weed dealer.
I'm
y'all.
not a weed dealer. But the weed dealer mentality is like when you go into places, people just want to smoke for free. That's the thing. People just want to smoke for free.
Yeah,
too.
that's
Yeah,
the same
exactly.
thing with
People just
beer.
want to yeah. And the thing is that like I enjoy bringing good stuff to my friends. You know what I mean? The
Right.
people that I fuck with or whatever. That's the thing. Like that's what it's like when you work at McDonald's. Like that's the thing about doing what you do. You get the hookup. Like I get to hook up my friends, but not everybody a friend. That's when you learn who your real friends
Oh
is.
yeah, once you work, everybody make your son work at fast food restaurant. He really start to weed out his friends and everything. Because once you work at a fast food restaurant and you in high school, it's a lot of people just start showing up to your job, asking you for fries and nuggets. And you're like, hey, bro, you was just making fun of me in fifth period. We not that cool.
That's when you start who's nugget worthy. That's your first foray into associates and friends. Yeah, I mean,
Yo.
not everybody could come and get a nugget. You get a nugget. Yeah,
You don't
I mean,
get a nugget, fam. Like we trying to hit the same chick. Like
That's
I ain't
got to
gonna
be a
fill
good way to
your
pick up
stomach.
chicks, though.
Yo,
Hand out free nuggets.
I was telling I was talking to somebody and it was crazy. I met a gentleman I know and his son was there and he was telling me that his son just got a job at Wendy's and I guess I forgot his dad was there because I was excited. I'm like, yo, you in high school, you 16? Yo, good, you got a job at a fast food restaurant, especially Wendy's. Cause Wendy's be hiring just all girls, like it just be all girls. Like shit, when I worked at Wendy's when I was in high school, it was all females around. It was just like me working with mad chicks from mad different high schools. I went to mad different parties, and then like you could take friends from high school to these different parties. Like, yo, he got the exotic chicks, like he got the chicks from the west side.
you know how much clout it is to be like, hey, yo, hey, just come through. Yeah, I mean, just come through. I got you. I got you, and then actually get her. Yeah. Even if she bring a little homegirl with her, whatever. Yeah, I got y'all on that. Yeah, I mean, you go
Think
ahead
about
and do
working
that.
at a fast food restaurant. You get a lot of weird situations too. Like I was messing with this chick that I worked with at the fast food restaurant, and she got mad because I started messing with another chick at the restaurant. So she called her brothers up to fight me, but they came through the drive-through. So they was like threatening me through the drive-through. And I'm like, I ain't coming outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just gonna go back and forth. I ain't coming outside. Like, I ain't stupid. Your sister back here, and you know what? I smack you, know what I mean? Me and your sister. Like, I won this already. Like, just let it go.
That was your first problem. You were shitting where you were eating. Like that.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I've never.
was in high school, bro.
Yeah. See, I never. When I
always shit where you eat in high school because you ain't got nowhere else to shit.
See, my thing, like in high school, my thing was that the chick that I was working with, I didn't fuck her, but she would take me to her friends, and that's when women had friends. Women had friends in high school, and women had friends in college. Now, once you get into professional, women don't. When your boy be like, "Hey, yo,"
year, they lose all their friends.
Yeah, women be like, "Oh, yeah," like your boy be like, "Hey, yo, she got some friends." No,
she has associates. She has people who are like-minded, but they're not cool.
Nah, you're not. Those days are over. But in high school, high school, they still had friends. Yeah, I mean, so it was just like I'm not because I don't want. My thing was I didn't want to come in Monday morning. after we had just been hanging out yesterday, and we hung out Saturday, and we
I
gonna
ain't
see
hanging
each
out
other
with
in
you Saturday
class.
and Sunday.
You got to work with them. That's what I'm saying. You don't hang out with them, but you got to work with them. So you hung out Sunday. You got to go into school, see them Monday, and then you get off, and then you got to go to work and see them again like Monday. And then
Well, we didn't go to the same school.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Well, I guess that
You know
might
what I mean?
be
I worked in a fast food restaurant that was outside of my school's jurisdiction.
Oh, okay,
You know what
see
I mean?
there, yeah.
So
that might-
basically,
yeah.
I was only dealing with you when we was on the schedule together, and you know what I mean? You bringing me all this bullshit as far as is we gonna go to homecoming together? I gotta make these sandwiches. Like, let me focus. You know what I mean? If I don't get this $200 check on Friday, I can't get these new sneakers. Like, come on, this is why you like me. Like, don't fuck up why you like me.
That's a good high school strategy in general. Mess with chicks that don't go to your school.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, life has changed, man. Like now you kind of want women that are more convenient. Like I don't like when I was just dating and stuff, I didn't like driving across town.
It's a task.
That's a lot of gas money, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm driving across town for you, and like the gas money, you don't appreciate the gas money I'm spending to come see you.
No.
You just think this part of course.
Yeah, this
Man.
thing just happens.
Yeah, like this
no,
don't
you-
just happen. I gotta turn this car on, and every time I turn it on, the needle don't go quite as far. You know what I mean? Like this costs.
I'm just lazy though.
Yeah,
I mean, the gas
you get
money's
lazy
only- I'm
too.
lazy.
You work. Well, see, you're a small business owner, so your schedule is all day basically.
Yeah.
And even like when you're grown, you start dealing with women across town. It's like, yo, I gotta do I want to spend the night tonight?
Yeah, my free time is valuable.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
And my
like you said,
energy.
especially when you're dating like across town or whatever. Like you said, it is like I got to pack a bag. Like
Yeah.
you get into those droughts where like you and me, you might have been there like 2 days or whatever. You're like, do I live here now? Like what the fuck? Like
That's when you start trying to come up with excuses to leave. Like,
Yeah.
I got something to do. I got to go to work. I got a meeting.
hell yeah.
I really can't stay tonight. I got to get up early for the gym.
The worst is trying to look. I remember, like, listen. The worst is trying to get a woman to leave your house that's trying to stay. Like you wake
Yeah.
up and she trying to stay longer, and you like, I'm trying to get her out as quickly as possible. So you act like you got something to do. Like you get up, you start getting dressed, making mad noise, and she laying there like she sleep. It's like, I know you wake over there. Like I done knocked all types of shit off the computer desk and all that. Wake up.
My problem's the
Get the hell out
night
of my
because I
house.
don't like a lot of times I don't want the chick to stay.
Yeah.
You know, she's like not that great. So you're
That's
trying to make
cold.
up excuses. Well,
That's
I mean,
cold.
Blooded, man. That's
Yeah.
a small business owner.
Yeah.
to make his own decisions.
I mean, once you fire a couple people, you just kind of get that.
Yeah. You're like,
You
eh.
get to
Just get
fire
outta here.
people. That's crazy.
That's not fun.
That's, I think I mean I was you at least like especially get late night whatever. My thing was like after like 7 a.m. really for me was a thing, but 9 a.m. at the very latest. If you're
7
still
is early, bro. I'm
Well,
not even
7
trying to get up and be trying to fight with you to leave at 7.
I'm
9,
not.
you gotta go.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. At 7, I think that because me, if I was in a place and I woke up around 7 a.m., I feel uncomfortable in this situation. I'm a bounce out, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I don't want it to be, because at 7 a.m., you're still groggy, like, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't work hours or whatever. You're not fully awake. You don't have to have the awkward conversation. You can leave at 7 a.m., be fully rested, sober enough to drive, and be the fuck out there without awkwardness. 9 a.m., you got to look at the motherfucker. It's a whole thing. Are we going to do another round or am I going to go? Like, yeah, I mean, like, what is
Yeah,
the...
that comes into play.
Yeah,
like I'm
like-
woke now, and my juniors are woke now. Too,
Yeah,
so.
what would he do? And then, but after 9 a.m., that's when
Now
the
you being
awkwardness.
disrespectful.
This is like, come on, B. What the
Come on, man. We didn't even talk about you staying. You ain't got a toothbrush. Like,
My roommates is with him and they walking around and shit. I gotta answer questions.
yo, tell me, have you ever had a roommate?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so having a roommate is the worst when you're in that stage where you're more promiscuous and dealing with, you're just dating around, because even as a man, you try to hide certain chicks from your roommate. You don't want them to
See, those are the chicks I don't let stay over though.
It's not even about the woman. It's just, I don't want you to see everybody that I'm bringing through. Like, I had a roommate. Like, I had a roommate where I was single and he was in a committed relationship. I'm like, I can't just have all these different women coming in and out the apartment and your girl looking at me. She's judging
like a
She might have a
motherfucker.
fine friend that I'm going to try to get at a gathering.
Yeah.
And she going to be hating on me on the low. Like, he was hitting this girl from Wilkinsburg last week. Then he had a girl from this way. That. Like, damn, yo. I feel like your roommate, there should be some rules in the crib. Like, hey, roommate, your girlfriend can't walk out of the room until 9:30.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
You know what I mean? Make sure. Let me make sure I got an all clear signal up. Like when I put my sock on my door, that means someone's in there. So don't knock on my door and don't let your woman walk the hall. Once the sock's removed, then it's all good. I don't know.
That's like a big one for me though. I don't like chicks staying over. If you stay over, like you must be pretty cool because I don't really like. I don't know why.
I don't know. I mean,
it's like a bad start to the day. You wake up and it's awkward.
I think there's a baser instinct. I think there's just some cutthroat motherfucker. You are more of a cutthroat type dude. And I respect it.
It doesn't do me real well, but that's all right.
Yeah.
I think
you're not marriage material. I wouldn't suggest anybody listen to the podcast to marry you, but have a good time with this dude.
I was engaged for a couple of years, and I think I was too cutthroat, so it's over.
What are you
gonna do, man?
You being a cutthroat type of, you got to find somebody that just kind of is able to just like put up with it, but also just kind of counteract that shit and be like, I'm not gonna let you. You go to cut and they're like, whatever.
And no, it's not personal.
Yeah,
I never had that cutthroat in me, man. Like,
it's not a good thing.
Wake
I
up and be like, get out
it.
my crib, and I'll wake up and be trying to like suggest that you should probably go.
Yeah, no, but there are various aspects to being cutthroat. Because you being who you are, and I mean this podcast that we have, all we do is go back and forth. You're abrasive. You're an abrasive person. You know
I'm not abrasive.
That's not very nice.
You can find. Listen,
you're abrasive.
Google my history with women. They'll never say I'm abrasive. They'll all say Ed's cool. I'm really like. I mean, I got sisters and shit. I can't just be all abrasive with women. But
you're abrasive.
Hey, listen.
Did you hear Buzzy laughing? Like you hear this nigga, like he know. Like because
I'm cool, man.
Anytime that you have a stance or a belief or whatever, like you feel like anytime you're they call it opinionated, right? If you're opinionated, if you have a stance, you feel confident in yourself, and you want to tell others, you can't. You have a podcast, man. You're a comedian, and you think
I'm kind of chill with it.
You think that when you are your thoughts and your views are important enough to broadcast it to the world. That is abrasive.
Oh,
in and of itself.
I interview cool people. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I talk about
in and of itself,
how
right?
I feel about things. Let's talk about this beer we had though. We didn't talk about. We talked about having knee deep, but we didn't get into the knee deep. That's why I just want to make sure because I'm almost finished with the glass. So
dude, you're doing pretty good drinking wise.
Well, drinking was the easiest thing to get back to. Drinking the brews. I can't do the hard liquor though.
That'll come though.
That. Yeah, I ain't even concerned with the thing about beer is like you can have a chill day with beer and not even really be.
You know what's crazy? We started this podcast and it was Henny and craft brew.
It was Henny all day.
And now he's on the other side where he's like, hard liquor ain't even a necessity.
Well, I also got rear-ended by a semi truck. It took a semi truck to separate me from Hennessy. You feel me? Like we start getting craft beer sponsors, so I'm like, well, I don't need to buy Hennessy for this all the time. But Hennessy's still in my heart. I found out Hennessy was a hereditary thing in my family. My granddad came out for the benefit we had, and so he came to my crib before the benefit. This motherfucker had a bottle of Hennessy Privilege.
Oh, what?
My granddad. I'm like, God damn. First of all, I didn't even know you drank Hennessy, but then you drinking like upscale Hennessy, man. Just sitting in my kitchen drinking Hennessy by himself. I'm like, man, you could come chill with us.
I don't think I've ever had a Hennessy. That's like
a
terrible thing to
you
admit.
Ain't lived yet.
A couple of my friends drank it in high school. I don't know if I didn't have enough black friends or.
Yeah, no, that's right.
You didn't have enough black friends.
Yeah, you definitely didn't have enough black friends.
Otherwise,
I
Hennessy.
feel like I'm missing out.
Hennessy's still around. You know what I mean? It's still around.
It's a thing.
Yeah, I gotta try it sometime.
Cognac. So you drink cognac at all?
I've had that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a cognac. I mean, here's the thing about Henny. I'm just going ahead and say, Henny is good. I mean, cognac is good. It's not the best cognac.
No, it's not the best cognac. It's the most
but
recognizable. And it just has deep ties.
It's
in certain neighborhoods.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things. I mean, like the brown community really is attached to brown. I mean, and growing up or whatever, and I don't know if I'm biased or not, like, because I love liquors and I love beer, I love palates or whatever. But I am akin to brown, like, and cognac and whiskey are my two go-tos. Like, coming in, it was vodka, because vodka is just water, like that is, what I mean.
Fuck vodka.
And then you have your rums because it's sweet. You can kind of whatever. Like, those are the beginner type things. Like, whiskey is a very it's abrasive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, when we were talking about being abrasive or whatever, abrasive isn't always a negative connotation. You know what I mean? Whiskey, now if it's done poorly,
right.
it is. Being an asshole, being a professional asshole that I am, there's a fine line between being an asshole and a fucking asshole, right? You have the likable asshole, and that's a thin line that you do. And whiskey and beer and brew is just in that same line, that same vein. Whiskey can be done really well, and it is abrasive. To the person that's coming in and they don't really know, you know what I mean? Like, they're just like, what the fuck? But once you get an understanding of where it's coming from and the appreciation, and when it's done well, then you get to love it, and you love it better than you love any vodka. I love drink
vodka. No.
Vodka to me, I've never really like. You drink shots.
You can't
of it, but
love it. You can't love vodka the same way that you love a good whiskey,
right?
Because it doesn't have the same favorite.
Vodka's just a college drink.
Yeah,
it's. I mean, when you start drinking and you're in college, you just. Like, even when we were saying with the beer thing we're talking about, you just drink the shit that you've heard of.
Vodka soda, I think, is like a college girl thing because they're trying to less calories.
Mm-hmm. Vodka's just a female thing to me anyway. Like, if I can't imagine being out and ordering a vodka.
Well, the purpose of vodka is water. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want it to have a taste. You know what I mean? Like, now people will try to give little flavor profiles for various things or whatever, but you pay so that it doesn't taste like anything. You know what I mean? And that's just like an unrefined palate. I mean, like, nobody, like, but with whiskey, you could taste.
Oh, 100%.
The crab brew, you could taste. The cognacs, there's flavor in there. You know what I mean? There's a difference. You know what I mean? Vodka, you could just, like, is it better or is it not? That's
Vodka's
about
the
it.
anti-craft. There we go. So,
there you go.
I don't know if you think this knee deep is abrasive, but tell us about it and where are they located too?
They're up in Napa Valley in Northern California. So most of the stuff they do, they pretty much focus on hoppy stuff. This is one they came out with. It's a Nutella-inspired stout. It's only 6%. I'm sure you can taste it's a little bit lighter, not, again, more drinkable. I like it that way. I mean, I like dark beers, but this one, again, you can have 4 or 5 of them. It's got that nice little chocolate flavor, but it's not overpowering, not too sweet.
Yeah.
So I think they came out with it for the first time like September. It's been popular for us. So.
Yeah, it's very unique in that sense. I mean, it really has that Nutella type.
Yeah, but a lot of those chocolate beers are kind of overpowering and sweet. You'd only want to have one.
Well, that's the thing about Nutella though, is that, like, because it's that hazelnut, like, chocolatey thing or whatever. Nutella, in a sense, it's not straight chocolate,
right?
But I mean, it's like airy, it's lighter, it's not overpowering. You can put it on toast, you can put, I mean, it's multitasking, whatever. So they've captured
put
that.
it on your girlfriend.
Who have you got going on? You get you a little Nutella.
That's kind of freaky.
Hey man, listen, we all went through the stage. You go through the stage where you're dealing with being single, and you learn a lot of things in that stage. People don't give enough credit to the learning process of that stage.
That's what I think that people don't understand. They look at relationships as if it's like pass fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not pass fail. It's a relationship. Any experience is only a fail if you don't learn something from it. If you went through a relationship, you were spending time in that or whatever, and you came through and you learned something about yourself, about the world, or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? You grow up. It's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, to be like, this relationship, a failed relationship is one where, like, you knew this was going to be bad. You've been through this before. It's bad. It went bad, and you keep doing the same shit over and over again. When you're like, that's a failed relationship. That's a failed life.
Newsflash: every dealing with another individual is a relationship. So stop talking relationship. Listen, even your side joint, that's a relationship. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're in a relationship with that person. Your relationship has different, like, parameters and things like that, but it is a relationship.
Oh, your
Be
boss
true
is
to
a
all
relationship.
your relationships.
Your boss is a relationship. I got a dude at the gas station I come into every fucking and like, I just gave him my business card for the first time. I've been talking to this dude, and every time I see he goes when I first he goes, are you a rapper? He knows my mounts. I get my mounts. I get my same thing every time I come in. So, like, you develop that, really, you know what I mean? And, like, and he's talking to small talk or whatever. And, like, you develop it. 4 years I've been going to this dude. And today he learned my name. Like, I mean, it was, you know.
Whoa, so he microaggressed you with the "Are you a rapper?" thing.
Well, he was a rapper, yeah, because he was like, because I had the mic. He was like, "Oh, so you're a rapper?" And I'm like,
Don't know rappers wear cloth chains.
No, I'm not. I'm not really. Yeah, And then I'm like, you want to be like, oh, that's racist, but like, he's what do you call them? The Arabs and the Indian, the
Indian
Middle
gas
Eastern
station
type. So I don't
It
know.
can be racist. That
I'm
doesn't
like,
absolve you from being
well,
racist.
I'm like,
He's got Americanized views of your ass.
I think he's what do you call prejudice? He might have had but like I was just you're a rapper, bro. Like no, I'm a comedian. So every time I go in, it's like, oh, where you going? Dun 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 dun. Like, but again, that's a relationship. I mean, everything is a relationship that you have.
Key to success, though, is relationships. Being able to manage whatever field you're in, being able to manage relationships. Create good relationships.
Yeah. So I mean, how does that in the beer industry? Especially being a distributor, how do relationships affect your business in a sense? Because, I mean, for the average listener, it just seems like, hey, you ask them if you can carry it, they tell you the price, and you purchase it. I mean, is there any negotiability in that, or how does that work?
I mean, just even with how much we sell, like we try and treat bartenders well. Because I mean, for us, bartenders are the biggest thing. You can be in good with the bar owner, the bar manager, but the bartender are going to be the one.
Yeah, they're the ones that
who
make
sells
all the
your product.
suggestions.
When someone sits
What
down,
front line?
Yeah, say this is good, this is good, right? So you try and keep good relationships with bartenders. You try and tip well. You try and even on the other end of things, we try and just keep it open.
I want to keep I guess accentuate that point. The bartenders, the frontline folks. Customer service is a thankless job. Oh, yeah, I mean.
Yep.
Yeah,
Everybody
customer
should
service
have to go through
is
a
a
customer
thankless
service
job. Frontline is a thankless job. The food and beverage industry, the front line is thankless as fuck. Whether you're a server, or a busboy, or whatever the hell.
Please tip people. I hate being at the bar and you tip. You get like 48 cent
You don't
tip for a drink.
understand
Just give them $2.
the experience that you're having at any establishment, any whatever you're having, whatever you're drinking, whatever you're eating, is so heavily weighted by that front line staff. And when people say, I judge people by the way they treat the lowest of the folks or whatever, and it's perceived. The amount of skills necessary to be good in the food service industry is ridiculous. Like I started in that, and that's why I'm able to do what I do now, because I cultivated a lot of my skills in the food service industry. There's a lot of people that come in, it's low paying, they'll hire folks or whatever, but to be in it for a while is a different thing. And what you're saying, with the tipping and whatnot, those are the people that, like, when you're drinking that good shit, you're drinking that good shit because that bartender was there and he, noticed, he got the conversation, and he, and that was that bridge or whatever. So.
And if you don't tip, you're definitely getting your food or your drink spit in.
Yeah.
You're definitely not getting good service. They'll ignore you next time. Just tip a little bit.
As soon as I come to the bar, I give a good tip. And I'm like, hey, just so you know, that's all you. Just every once in a while when I come through, just give me a nod. And that's what it is. People don't understand that. And they're like, they get the bitching or whatever. Like, you're not doing it right there.
No. But yeah, I mean, that's for us. The relationships with bartenders and the community, and just treat people well. Get your place.
I don't know how the hell you are bold enough to deal with somebody who's dealing with your food and mistreat them. Like, you sit in a restaurant, see somebody talking crazy, somebody
You're asking for it.
Food, like, hey man, you might as well just walk out, bro. Because
your food is getting spit
not what's
in,
coming out
pissed
on that
in.
plate.
No,
I've never gotten into it.
There's
with
definitely
the
extra protein in that bitch.
I don't even understand why people even like argue with food industry or food and beverage industry individuals. Like they're not making the decisions, you know what I mean, or the policies. Like, why are you mad at them? Or like if you get something and something wrong with your plate, why are you mad at the waitress? Like, this motherfucker, they didn't do nothing with. They just brought the plate out. Like, what you tripping on?
This is undercooked. No.
That's just bullshit. Every time I come in here, why the fuck you keep coming in here?
Yeah, just don't come back. Like you vote with your wallet, right?
Yeah,
so if you don't like it, don't come back.
Man. I ain't never argued with nobody that dealt with my food or drinks. I don't know. You gonna get a tip out of me. I'm gonna be very respectful. I'm very courteous. It's like talking to my grandmother when I'm talking to somebody else. Hey ma'am, how are you, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Good, wonderful day. Are you all right? Yeah, my shit
And your
come
food
out
comes
quick
out
and
first,
it's
huh?
always warm because I'm always respectful.
Please, thank you.
Oh yeah.
They go a long way, man.
Shit,
Please
even
and
when I was
thank
in
you.
the hospital, like I was super courteous to the nurses because well,
Yeah. She was
touching your
I
dick.
wasn't awake for all that. My woman said they was rubbing my feet, and she had to tell them to stop. But I was like, that's kind of weird. But you when you in the hospital, yo, old people are very disrespectful to nurses and shit like that. They are mean as shit. Like I'm
They
like,
don't-
why you mean to this? They try to save your life, and you being mean.
I don't have an understanding of what the fuck. Like those are small-minded people. They don't understand how their direct actions have a ramification. They just they don't have a filter between their thoughts and their actions and their words. And it's like you just. You know, and a lot of and you see it more in people of privilege because when you're privileged, you're not used to consequences. If you're not used to because you know you don't know that you're eating ball hair, so you continue to eat ball. You know how many rich people? I would love to maybe I just kind of understand how many rich people eat ball hair. Like, what's the average intake?
I just don't
of
wish
ball
that
hair
on
for rich
anybody,
people.
though,
Hey, you know what? I do. I do rich.
I don't wish that
I would
on
definitely
people.
rich-
I wish it on.
Yeah, I wish ball hair, and I'm glad because I would imagine that there's probably a correlation between privilege and ball hair consumption in a year based on how you treat your staff.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Having worked in fast food restaurants and stuff like that, I couldn't fuck with people's food.
I
Even
couldn't-
if you was disrespectful,
people
I
do
couldn't
it.
fuck with
People
I
do
have
it.
never fucked with
100%.
anybody's food personally, but I've seen
I've
a lot
seen
of
people fuck
and
with
it,
people's
and,
food.
I've
It
put
100%
the order
happens.
in I put a hit out on them. Like, listen, this nigga's
You
wilding.
fucked with their food.
I'm like, this nigga's wilding, and then the chef would give me a nod, and
Yeah,
I
you fucked
knew,
with people's food. Just
I,
because your DNA ain't on it,
I would just.
you understand why Max B is in prison right now? That's what you are. You the Max B of the food and beverage industry, bro. Like that's crazy. I just couldn't I don't know, man. Like when I worked in the fast food industry and stuff like that, I don't even like you getting disrespectful. I just go silent on you, and that's how I am now. Like if you getting disrespectful, I go silent on you. Like as long as you don't, there's certain things that'll piss me off. That I have certain tics or whatever, but like for the most part, I'm like just give people silence, man. Like motherfuckers, people who get loud and get out of pocket, they looking for attention, man. They looking for response. And if I just look at you like, yo, fuck you not moving me, you not bothering me, like get the fuck out.
But that's the best weapon against somebody that's like wild.
So why
or
people
whatever,
still
is just
wiping
go
their
silent.
ass with
Yeah.
slices of pizza? Then, if the best weapon is silence, then why
Well,
you
no.
why
Here's
people
my
putting balls
thing. Here's my thing. I'm gonna go silent on you. And I'm gonna feed you some bald hair, maybe. I don't know. That might have been that might be a thing. You wonder why? Because there's pizza and there's toppings. So the pizza is by silence.
He's definitely done that before.
talking about he just put the hit out.
100%.
I just put the hit out. I personally, I don't.
Was it your ball hair or the chef?
You gave the chef
I will give
supply of your ball
I'll be
hair?
like, you give a, and it might happen.
He gave the chef a Ziploc bag of ball hair. Like, just sprinkle when I give you the nod, sprinkle some of this on.
I don't want this to come out. You know what I mean? They do a DNA test and my shit is. I see. I mean, I'm not. I want to be dirty. I don't want me to. But the hit, I might give a little nod, and maybe you gonna have a little.
They gonna find
extra
out that
DNA.
it's him because the chef don't interact directly with the customer.
DNA.
So the customer gonna be like, well, I had an issue with this guy.
was that
And this
dude.
guy, the chef gonna be like, well, this
Good
dude
luck.
told me to put the
Good
ball
luck.
hair on it.
Good luck. I ain't say shit. I gave a nod.
I be watching a lot of First 48, CSI. They get confessions.
You.
Yeah, they get.
ID
They get
Network.
look, the cops. They should find you. It-
Good luck to the lawyer that's gonna fucking take the surveillance video of me giving a nod to a motherfucker and piecing it to the nigga that just died from ball hair consumption. Like that. Yo, this fucking
Molotov Light from Evil Twin. It gets
I was a
you.
little concerned
good
just
double
because
IPA.
I was looking at the can and the name, and I was like, "Is this some bullshit? Did he just randomly throw some bullshit in there?"
No, there's a Molotov cocktail that's 13%.
Yeah, the can, and here's the thing: if you listen to Evil Twin or whatever, the can is off-putting. It looks like a cheap kind of like,
Yeah,
you know what
just
I mean?
coupled
Like you
with
just,
the name because I was thinking Molson. I'm like, what the?
yeah,
fuck?
like, you know what I mean? The Molson and it light or whatever, and then like it's just like you don't think. And I've had this before. I think actually Buzzy had he had brought this into the studio at one point, and I looked, I was like, I don't know, and then I got to look in and I drink it, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? You and it's ridiculous.
No, it is good. I mean,
Ridiculously
let me throw. It is good. So
Yeah.
I don't dislike it. I was just off put by the can.
Yeah.
So I'd have to ask, how cool is your life? Like, this is what you do. Like, you are the connect for different crabs, high end, high quality brews. I mean, you're an entrepreneur. Like, how cool is your life, man?
It's fun. I mean, the last year, it's probably the most fun I've ever had. I mean, it is a ton of work, ton of long hours, but when you're putting in long hours for something you love and you're having fun with it, you really don't notice it. We've got a great group of people working with us. We've had amazing support from the craft beer community here.
Now, how was your
it's
family
fun.
as far as supporting you when you decided to move in? Were they understand?
Oh,
well,
awesome.
your family has a food and
Awesome.
beverage background, so yeah.
Yeah, they have a food and beverage background. They started their own catering business in LA. They've had that for 40 years, so
Yeah,
they
they
kind of
kinda
knew the
understand.
struggle
Yeah,
of starting
that's
your own
great.
business. This is probably I don't think I've ever been successful in anything in my life, which is not, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, but you got to go through and take your lumps. And so people that sit here and say, "Oh, he's 28, he's got having a tiny bit of success," like there's a lot that comes
Most
before
people
that.
aren't
And
successful.
my parents were big for having.
Like, how many 28-year-olds do you see that are like super successful? Most people aren't successful, but
Well, I'm not
you're
super
on your
successful,
way.
maybe
You
in a
know what I
couple
mean?
years. Yeah, getting
You
there,
have a
yeah.
plan.
Yeah. Like, I feel like people get caught up in age too often. Like,
Yeah.
motherfuckers is living until they 112 now. Like, we ain't dying at 54 no more. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
No,
yeah.
no, I'm
he is
definitely
just
my
fried
time. My
his-
time.
No
His
vegetables.
diet is meat and beer. Like,
But
that is
yeah,
his diet.
and
well,
Damn, is
that's
that bad?
for lifespan?
For me,
yeah, no, yeah. My colon, my liver, this whole thing. But I mean, that's the beauty of having the long life is that like, yeah, I'm gonna die at 50, but 50 is still long, like an old age for like, back in the day
Yeah.
or whatever. One first and foremost, and the life that I lived when I get to 50. Versus the average death, when
The
it was
coal miner who
the
died
coal
at 50
miner
because his lungs was
yeah,
fucked up.
like if you're gonna go out from coal to fried chicken, I'm like,
I'd rather go out with fried chicken.
I would
Yeah.
rather go out with fried chicken
Because I got coal miner's lungs right now. My lungs ain't worth a damn right now.
But yeah, I think people do put too much emphasis on age. Like you said, with the because I'm looking at my 30s, I'm like, man, like, and I see the 20-year-olds, and I'm like, oh shit, like, because you are in a different place than most 20, and I know you have to understand that in an extent. Like,
Yeah,
most
yeah,
20-years,
for sure.
And I get a lot of 20s, and they ask me. Because I was in that same age, like when I was 20, like 5, 26, and I was asking like 35, 40, 50 years. I'm like, I feel like I don't know what the fuck. Like, what the fuck is what the fuck?
I don't either.
And,
I don't want to give that up.
and our parents were the generation where it was like you had to have everything figured out by the time you were 22, 23.
Right, because you're looking to get a pension, and you got to be paying into that pension for 35
Exactly.
years.
You settle down, you get that job, you work until you die, and that's just the blueprint or whatever. And now you live in this fucking age where like, and the thing that people don't understand is that you need to learn more to be a functioning adult in this society. Today, you need to learn everything that all of everybody else had learned. Like, just society or whatever. Like to a computer. You know how much fucking like my daughter like grew up learning computers. It was a thing that was introduced to me as like a teen, right? Yeah. So she's already using it. The amount of technology and like everything that you need to learn just to get to a place where like now I can go out on my own. That's the reason why like there was a point where like when we were just on farms, we were children. And there was no difference between childhood and adulthood. The term child came up about later once it was like these guys, these younger folks can't do what we're doing. The Industrial Revolution, when you had to teach people how to read. And that's the only reason we know how to read now is because we need you to know just enough that you can read a sign and it says danger, and you don't cut your arm off, so that we can continue to keep you working or whatever. So you need to learn how to read in order to be. That was another thing. Now you need to learn computers. So as technology grows, like people have to learn more to be functioning. So you had this 20s. You're in your 20s or whatever. and folks are moving back in the house or, this and the other, and they're thinking like, oh, shit, I'm a failure. Because my parents at that age had their own fucking
they had
place.
A mortgage.
They had
he was 24 with 3 kids and a mortgage. And it's like, why are you doing that so young?
But at the same time, it was an era where, like, you could still have a single income house. You know what I mean? Like, you look at the, like, with folks, there was a father would go out, you know what I mean? Most wife stayed at home.
Wife stayed at home.
There's not many fucking people who have
you gotta make enough money to do that.
Middle class, and those were middle class and poor people that were able to do that. There's no poor people.
Yeah.
There's no poor dude that can go out and raise a family by himself in any way, shape, or form.
Shorty got to be getting a check from the government.
Exactly. In order to be, you needed a degree. You need a degree. Your girl needed a degree.
I hope that changes. I got a degree. It was a waste.
That's where we're going into the
I don't
future.
think for you it wasn't. I think people
It was a
apply
waste of money.
degrees differently though.
I learned more. Well, and that's true. I mean, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, I mean, definitely go to. But I learned more in the first 6 months of owning a business.
And
than I did in 4 years of college.
Do you think your college experience has added value to what you're doing now? Because I don't know. Do you think you would have
Outside
had
the
the
classroom.
foresight to even be an entrepreneur at this age without going to college?
Yes, but I mean, you meet different people. Like I was from LA. You come out to Pittsburgh.
networking.
I mean, it's a whole different type of people. Yeah, I mean, just networking, yes, but even just learning how to interact with people that are different than you. I mean,
Well, that's what networking is. I mean, honestly, when I look at my college career, like I don't have a degree. I went to college. I love my college experience because it took me from where I was at. It put me in an environment that I was not like used to, and I learned how to
adapt.
And I learned how to exactly, and I learned how to talk to people that weren't like me. And you have to, if you're networking, the people that are best at networking, networking is the foundation to any successful business. Relationships, like you said, is relationship. And how do you get to those relationships? Is that you are able to connect with people that aren't like you. Not everybody that you're going to come in contact with are people that come from your place. You need to learn how to talk to people that aren't.
different beliefs, different skin
I think
colors,
college
different
really
foods.
is like if you come out of a degree or not or whatever you do. Yeah, like
long as you
Randy
experience
Bowman,
that.
we had him on last one. He came out as an accountant.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that he had college experiences.
He had college experiences. He met individual the thing about someone tries to sell you on a Harvard or a Yale or something. You're not going to that college because the classroom is better. You're going to that college because the people who are taking that class with you, they're going to have high positions.
Yeah.
So you're going to have
There's a
connections with
president
individuals.
somewhere
Yeah, you know what I mean?
on campus.
Yeah, like there are people. Hell, there are people at fucking CCAC. There are professors who are really into and really knowledgeable about the subjects that they're teaching or whatever. But I mean, they can't connect you with a motherfucker that's gonna be a CEO or a motherfucker whose family is well to do and maybe you're cool with that person. Like I went to college with a shorty and she a friend of mine, like his mother had a high ranking position at a national business. I don't want to say the business because they'll know what I'm talking about, shit like that. And she was super connected, and then he got decent gigs based off of that, and then he was dating a girl in college, and she got a decent job based off of her being this dude's girlfriend. Like they ain't even together no more, but she's set for life. But if she didn't go to Pitt, that wasn't gonna happen in that manner. But I mean, that's the value of the university. Like the university, they're not your champion. They're your champion of, okay, we can use you and your success to further push our cause. You know what I mean? Like, they don't give
the
a fuck
alumni
about you.
shit and whatever.
Yeah, it's a business.
It's a business.
Education is a business. And now you can educate yourself, but you know, if you educate yourself, then you got to invest heavily in, like, if whatever money you don't put into going to college, then you have to put that back into endearing your people to other individuals and meeting individuals and being out and understanding
you're
what's going on,
gonna make
you
an
know?
investment, whether it's time or money. Time is money. So
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
time,
Like either way, you're gonna pay for the experience that, you know what I mean, and where you get at. Like I mean, and with even what we're doing or whatever, and like, you know, like I said, it's like, yeah, I wasn't born in a rich family that's gonna just plug me in or whatever. I mean, like,
It's all right though, but you still got to take those connections and do something because they did where they own and distribute.
Well, you came from
that's the
Cali
biggest
to
thing is-
Duquesne. Well, granted, you're going to Duquesne, so clearly, you know, but like to go from there to here and then stay here, like you could have went back and just, you know what I mean, like you stayed in Pittsburgh. Why did you stay in Pittsburgh?
I mean, I love the city. The thing I'll say about Pittsburgh is there's great people here. It's a kind of big city, but at the same time, it's got that small town feel. You can go across the city and feel like you know people. You know, you go into the grocery store, you go wherever you shop, you know the guy. You know, in LA, it's not like that. I love Pittsburgh. I really do. It's a great city, fun city. Yeah. I mean,
man. I mean, most people gonna question you on that decision, but if you love it, you love it. Like
everybody does.
Everybody
does.
I've never just been in LA like in a living situation though. I mean, I feel like it's great. It could be.
It's a great place to visit.
Yeah.
It's expensive as hell, especially as a young person. There's not as many. The economy here is probably better than it is there. There's not as many opportunities.
The thing about LA is that you don't need as much money to be happy, though. Like when you have a beach and 70-degree, 75-degree weather on a regular basis.
I don't know, man.
But it's more people.
I value the sunny, warm days
you
out
value
here.
them.
In LA, you start to like, it's just sunny, whatever.
But so I'm more motivated here. I was talking to Barron about it or whatever, and it's like the motivation here is more because like I go outside and I'm motivated to do whatever the fuck I need to do. I can't just go outside and just be like, well, I'm out. So I'm gonna
going to the beach
wherever the road takes me. When I walk outside of my home, I need to know where I'm going. When I'm coming back,
or is that complacency there?
And that's what I'm saying. Complacency at times is happiness.
I don't know, man. Because if I'm looking at a bunch of motherfuckers with real dough, then I'm gonna be like, yo, I want that. So yeah, I can have a sunny day.
That's the one thing. I went to LA in January, and you go out there and you see dudes driving Maseratis, Ferraris, like all over the place. Like,
yeah,
I gotta get mine.
You're
motivated to like.
And you driving a fucking Focus. You don't feel good about that.
Yeah.
You have your own business at 28, right? It's not the average motherfucker. The average motherfucker.
Matter of fact, you don't count.
Yeah, like
be in this conversation.
The average motherfucker ain't like, he got a Maserati. Like, they might feel that or whatever. But I'm telling you, man, when you have the ability to just go out and there's a beach and there's sunny weather or whatever, like
swim.
It's not like
I ain't swimming. Fuck a beach.
I can't swim either.
Here's the thing about the beach.
I've never
I'm at
surfed
the
in my
beach
life.
for the women. And the women are attracted to the dude with the Maserati. I need to find my way to the Maserati just because there is a beach.
That's bullshit. It's not like Pittsburgh is like the most poorest motherfucking town.
It ain't about it being poor, but you could get by.
You could get
by Pittsburgh with a Kia. I know a couple Kia motherfuckers that's doing well out here.
If you got enough ambition, I think
now.
you can get by any motherfucker where on the planet. I think you could drop me anywhere on the planet, and I'm gonna find my niche. And I ain't gonna get the Maserati chicks, but I ain't gonna be some old, because I've been poor my whole life, and it's not.
All I'm saying is you ain't going to LA and seeing a bunch of Hyundais. That's all I'm saying, man.
Certain parts,
I don't
but
know, man. Hey, where can they find you, man? Yeah, everything.
Social media,
media,
your actual business. Let these motherfuckers where to go.
man.
Know where to go to get. It ain't made to order, but you can definitely have an input on what it is.
so it's wholesale. But I mean, SteelCityBeer.com, SteelCityBeerWholesalers.com. At Steel City Beer on Twitter. My personal Twitter is at Shane Lohman, Lohman. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter, Facebook, everything. Really.
We want to say thank you so much for contributing to the Ed Bailey benefit or whatever. That
thank
was
you,
dope
man.
as shit.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd seen your guys' podcast and on Twitter, but I'd never.
No, not at all. Like you just like reached out and was like, okay,
But,
like this is some dope shit.
Yeah, but I mean, that's you got to treat people how you want to be treated, and I would hope that if I'm ever in a pinch, people in general would reach out and
Well,
try
the
and help me.
community
That's
is-
what it's all about.
The craft community is
Yeah.
real, and the arts community here in Pittsburgh, it's real, man. Like people really appreciate each other, and I think it's because we've all gotten in at the burgeoning point. So it's growth. You getting in on the craft scene, us getting in on the comedy scene, where it's like rapid growth and everything like that. And so we appreciate each other, and I appreciate you contributing. You obviously, and all the others who contributed. Man, that shit was dope.
It was like I said, the community is a great one to be in, and I didn't fully realize how connected it was until we had gone through some things or whatever. So we appreciate you, and we
You
appreciate
ain't
the community
lived
in
till you
general,
had a
man.
tragedy in your life.
Yeah, I mean, everybody gets worried about what's happening in the world and politics and all this and
On a
that. If
micro
you just help
level.
people
People
out,
forget the micro.
Yeah, on a micro level, you can make the the world you're living in, whether it's Pittsburgh, LA, wherever, a better place, and people going through stuff, help them out, and just the little things.
We will see you at the end of the week at Comtra.
Yeah,
So
damn. Well, this ain't the episode we can promote it, but
no, we ain't promoted
if you're
it, but
listening, this gentleman sponsored our April 1st Comtra Theater show.
part of Burning Bridges.
People, part of Burning Bridges Comedy Festival. People were out there having a good fucking
They
time. Trust
fucking
me.
enjoyed themselves, and you fucking missed out. Ain't that about some shit? You got to stop.
And they
doing
had
that.
an assortment of samples.
They had, crazy. It was crazy, my motherfuckers.
So y'all need to listen to the cast to understand when we doing these things, so you can come out and stop by Steel City Beer, man. Get you
all
some
about being around
imported,
good
man.
people.
Yeah, I mean, get you some exotic. Everybody wants exotic.
Yeah.
You want exotic weed, you want exotic women. Get you some exotic weed.
You got any events coming up?
We're doing some stuff for Craft Beer Week.
Yeah,
We're doing a
that's
big
gonna
thing
be
out
some-
in-
yeah, that's gonna be some
in
good
April.
shit,
Yeah. We got a bunch of stuff. I mean, just go on
Wow.
our Twitter, Steel City Beer. There's so much to mention, but honestly, Evil Twin, Pizza Boy, Soul, Knee Deep, just support us by drinking
Nice.
our
They
beer.
did
That's it.
support
really.
them
It's good
because they
beer. Just
support
enjoy
us.
it.
Exactly. They let them know where they can find us so they can continue to support us.
We are the Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners.
Hey, we want to thank our guest, Shane Lohman, one of the youngest entrepreneurs in the city, doing big things, contributing to the culture, and making your nights a fun night. And, hey, making your social gatherings and at the crib a little bit better. Make sure you check out Steel City Beer. As always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family. And we out of here.